Okay, so today I'm going to be making a video about contact sets. Not many people know about this tool on the Phoenix Firestorm release. This tool's been out for a while, and one of the things about this tool is you can actually color code your contacts from your friend list, whether they're online or offline. And basically what that does is it will assign a color to the contact, and depending on what settings you have for your contact set settings, you can set the color code for your minimap to show up. Instead of having green dots, you can have multicolored dots basically on your minimap to tell who's who. Now the default color for friends not in a set is gray. So basically anyone who's not set at a different color will just show up your basic green. and you'll have to pardon me, but I've had a bit of a sinus infection, so I've been sick this week. Now, basically, you can have different settings for your list. Now, you can uncheck these boxes, and here you'll see it'll say show, and you can see 4 boxes here. It'll say online, other sets, offline, and all friends. Right now I will uncheck online, so pretty much all I'll be shown is offline. But when I check the box again, anyone who's online will show up as a light colored eye, which indicates that they're online. Now when I click other sets, the ones that are color coded will disappear, as you can see there, and then when I click again they reappear. Now when I click offline, anyone who's offline, as you can see, they all disappeared, and it only shows the ones that are online. Now I can select all sets here, and as you can see I have different sets here. I have one for roleplay, one for RP game masters, one for RP admins, and one for family. Now typically you can make a new set, and you can just write your set name in there, and then you click create set. And then when you go to your new set, like for example, if you want to add a set for let's just say we'll look at the roleplay set. Once you've made a set that says, say, like roleplay here, and then you add the color codes, you can add the different tags here by simply right clicking on the contact, and then you would select the tag that you want to assign, and we'll say for whoever the contact may be, you'll just hover over the assigned tag and click on it. Now you can also remove the tags if you choose to. However, if you do that, then as you can see the tag disappears on the name, and then you can reassign it. Now, potentially, when you assign multiple tags, whatever tag has the highest, I would say, highest color ratio will show up as a primary color because it goes like red, green, blue, or RGB. So, and it will show up like that. So basically, back to what I was saying, when you set the color, you would click on the color picker here, and you have an RGB ratio here where you can select the colors, and then if you know the the LSL color ratio, you can use that as well. Or simply, if you know the hex code for a color, you can use that color too. Typically, if you want to use a custom color for your contact settings. So typically, right now I don't have any contacts that are color coded in the sim. If I did, they would be, well, I suppose I could make a contact set for them and label them as I could label them as a contact if they were on my friend list, but in order to do that, they have to be on your friend list, or you have to, or I believe you have to have their contact card. However, I'm not sure that that fully works with just the contact cards. So what I'm really thinking is they have to be on your friend list. Now, when you open your friend list or your contacts for conversation contacts, it'll show up your standard light and dark gray colors, or depending on what skin you're using or UI setting you have. However, in order to have them color coded, you you uh, you have to have them added on your friends list. Now back to the contact set settings. You can select basically the choices you have for the contact set settings is you have show online notices for all friends as toasts set to a false to only show for certain sets. Or you can show online notices for all friends in nearby chat set to a false to only show for certain sets. Or you can show online notices for certain sets as toast. Now I'm not sure what toast is, but when I find out, perhaps I'll make another a further video explaining what that is once I find out. And as you can see, I have quite a few of these boxes here checked. So, and then you have show online notices for certain sets in nearby chat, color our friends minimap icon based on their contact set. Like I was explaining, you can color code the contacts you want set, and then their color will show up that color on the minimap. Now this only works for Firestorm, for Phoenix Firestorm. I have yet to see it on any of the other clients like Singularity or even the default. Now to me this seems like a pretty handy tool because basically I wouldn't say it's used for stalking, I'd say it's used for identifying, well, to put it basically, I'd say it's used to identify important people. Like if you're in a role play, I mean, you wanna, and you've got all the game masters or the admins on your friend list, and you want to identify them from the typical role players, or you even have the staff and mentors on your friend list. You know, that's an easy way to identify them from regular people or users. So it's just basically a way of sorting through the masses on your mini map to be able to find the people you need to talk to in case you need to talk to them. If you're looking through your mini map for them, it's just quicker and easier, especially if they're not shown online on your contact or friend list for whatever reasons. Because sometimes we all know sometimes the SL doesn't work properly, and well, it doesn't show you being online. Now, back to contact set settings. You can also color a friend's name tag based on their contact setting, and what that will do is my name will show up red because that's the default. But when you have that box checked like I have here, when they walk up to you, it will actually show the color-coded name over their head on their name tag. So that's another way to identify them. Now, you can also have that identified on the well, Okay, well, for some reason here it's not showing it, but there is a box here that says color friends radar list entry based on their contact set, and I'm assuming that the window that I just opened here for people that box is for that. However, whenever I've seen that, I've never seen that specific color show up. So it's possible maybe that's not a function that's working yet. Now you can also color friends chat based on their contact set. However, I would not recommend using dark colors. Well, it just depends on what skin you're using with Firestorm, but I would not. But if you're using the default for Firestorm, I would not recommend using dark colors. It tends to be hard to see or hard to view. So if you do decide to use that, you might want to use something that's lighter colored. Now you have other options. You can also color a small area of the background of the contact set floater, or colorize the text instead of the backgrounds of the contact set's floater. Then you have, well, you actually have other options here. You have a box here that says require control key to be pressed to be able to multi-select, and what that means is if I had controls held down, I can multi-select contacts to assign them colors, and then I would right click and that would put a checkbox by the ones that I want to send, like by doing this, you can start a conference call, you can send a mass TP, or you can even remove tags that way from what I'm seeing. And yeah, it does work. So what you would do is, you go back to these as I remove their tags for roleplay, and then I'd re-add them. And I mean, it's a real useful tool for Phoenix Firestorm, and I don't know if many people use it or not. I'm sure they probably do, but this is one of the handy tools that I like about Phoenix Firestorm. Um, like I said, you don't really see that on Singularity. I haven't seen it on the default viewer, but I really feel that if all viewers had this option, it really would make life easier for people. I mean, plus, not to say that there's any actual enemies in SL, but it's like the old saying goes, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. If you absolutely had anyone still on your contact list that you absolutely didn't get along with, and they didn't remove you for whatever reasons, well, there you go. That's a way of color coding them to set them apart from everyone else. Not that I'm advocating it, but that's just kind of a handy tool. And that's all it is, really. It's just a tool. And so anyway, back to contact set settings. You can also use the zoom effect in the floater. Now, the zoom effect in the floater basically is what you're seeing here as I hover over the names. It basically looks like they're zooming in, and that's an option I can turn off here, as you can see, and all it will do then is highlight it. Now, if I set that, then what it does is I just scroll down and it will go all the way down to the list. Now, if I click on all sets, it will go all the way down my list, which I think is really good because, well, it's really good to do that. Now, if you have bad eyesight, as you can see as I've reactivated it, this is a good tool here to use so you can actually see the names as you scroll down. It's like a magnifying glass, basically. So the next option you have is use the color highlight effect in the floater, and you've got background strength and you can set that as how strong you want the color to be in the background, the color of the background to be. And and then the next option you have is show folders above contacts. You can use this drop down instead if this is off. So if this is off, then what you would do is if this was off, then you would just use the drop down here, and you would select whatever. Now I'm not sure what it means by show folders, but it might be something in the inventory, and if that's the case, I'll cover that in another video later on once I find out. And then it says draw profile icons next to the names. Now what that means is, as you can see on the left hand side here, I can see everyone's profile picture that they have for being my contact. Now if I had that box unchecked, it wouldn't show the picture, it would just show the name. And that does tend to get a little confusing. So that's just another way to identify. Now here you have name format. You can use legacy names, which is the original usernames, and or you can use display names. Like, for example, my display name is Gan, but my legacy name is Ganthril Mason. Or you can just use display names only as far as name format. Now you can sort by display names only, or you can sort by display names with usernames, or you can sort by legacy names. Now in this case, I sorted by display names only because after display names with usernames, because I wanted to make it easier to be able to find people in alphabetical order versus how some people like to put funky icons. As you can see in the contact list here, some people have some it's not funky icons. The proper term for it is ASCII code, and it really drives me up the wall when I have to look in a search for someone's name when they're using ASCII code, especially if it's a creator or it's someone that I need to get a hold of about something, because it makes it all the more harder to contact them. So, with that being said, that pretty much, well, there's a few other settings here. You can also have the option of deleting contact sets. If you're no longer using the contact set, you have the choice of just selecting it, and then you would click delete set, and it would get rid of the set. Now I assume by doing that, it doesn't get rid of the contact itself. It just gets rid of the color coding on it. So once you do that, then I would imagine that it goes back to the standard on your minimap as the default green dot that every user in SL has. The only downside about this tool is when you open your map for your world map for Second Life, as you can see, all the dots in the sim that I'm in right now are still green. This tool, or this feature for contact sets, don't work with the world map. It only works with the mini map. So whatever sim you're in, that's another way to tell if you're in a sim full of green dots and you see a different colored dot coming to your sim and it's associated with one of the sets that you've assigned a color to. That's how you know that, oh, that person's a role player, or oh, that person's family, or that person's a close friend, or it works in a number of ways. So with that being said, I mean, that pretty much covers the contact sets. So with that, I will just say, I would say with that, just, if it's a tool that you feel that you want to use, I would recommend using Phoenix Firestorm for it, because so far, like I've said, I haven't seen it in other clients. I haven't seen it in Singularity, and I certainly haven't seen it in the default viewer. And that's something I would recommend for those viewers, but those viewers they're not new, and well, it's a useful tool. It really is. So if you like this video, this has been another video from Second Life Adventures, and I would like to take the time to thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends and family. Again, I apologize for the lack of videos. I've been sick over last week, and I will probably be posting more vlogs and other projects within the next day or two. Thank you again, and for the most part, uh, feel free to subscribe and keep watching my videos for more input and more knowledge. Thanks.